The Facebook Audience Insights tool. You guys, I love this thing. I use it all the time in my accounts. It's not as useful as it used to be. In case you've been living under a rock, Facebook has had some issues with privacy, but there's still a lot that can be gleaned from this tool. Effectively, what you can do is create different audiences, maybe people that you're thinking you might want to target, and see how those targeting options impact other targeting options. Sounds a little weird, but let's say you want to know what the demographic information is of the people who like the US women's national soccer team, right? You can do that. You can also see who's connected to your page and what the information around those people are. What other pages do they like? What devices do they tend to use? All sorts of things. So let's actually just hop into the platform and take a look at all the different things that you can do with it. In the Facebook ads platform, you pretty much always land on the ads manager to start. So Audience Insights is going to be up in this top nav, and it is going to be under the plan stages. So just click Audience Insights. And once the page loads, it almost always starts you off with this little box that basically says, do you want to start with everyone on Facebook or people connected to your page? You can also tell it to never show you this again. I'm just going to close out because that's effectively the same as everyone on Facebook. So now that we're here, what we can do is start to see the information that it gives you. So age and gender and the different breakdowns there, relationship status, education level, job title, all sorts of things. There are also different breakdowns of page likes. So you can see just the top liked page on Facebook is Coca-Cola, apparently. You can also then come down to see kind of the breakdown of how people in the audience you have created versus the people on Facebook. So before we get too far into that, you can also target location. Look at different location information that people have. Where do they tend to be more on Facebook, as well as the activities. So frequency of activity, the number of ads they clicked, pages liked, the comments, devices they've used, the device types that they tend to use. The one thing that you'll always notice so far, because I haven't changed anything, is that the gray bar and the blue bar are identical. What this means is that we're looking at everybody on Facebook. The way you read this is the blue bar is the audience that you have created in the Insights tool, and the gray bar is the average number of people on Facebook. So let's just hop back to the main demographics tab just for ease, and let's just see how this works. So over here, let's just say I want to target just men. That changed this demographic piece pretty quickly, right? All of the blue bars for women went away and all of the ones for men stayed. Obviously, that's because I said I wanted to target just men in this audience. And so that's effectively how you read it. Now let's say we want to target men of only 22 or 18 to 22. So that's a much higher likelihood than the average number of people on Facebook in the audience we've created. We've got 100% of our selected audience, only 14.9% of Facebook users are of that age and demographic. So I'm going to reverse this. We'll just go back to 65 plus and all. We can create pretty much any audience with the information on the left over here. So we just tweaked the age and gender piece. You can also change the different country, region, and city. For the most part, the US is the strongest set, and I'm going to leave that there. You can also target based on interest, the connections that you have. So this is where you can add in your page. If you have your page, it will be listed here, and you can just click the plus button and the information will show. I'm not going to show you either one of these because that's private information, but go look at it for your own page. The other thing you can do is come down here to advanced, click this open, and now you've got language, relationship status, education, work, all this stuff that you can choose different audience characteristics and see how that translates into a Facebook audience. So let's just say we want to target in life events people who have a new job. A lot of people who have a new job are in the construction and extraction job title group, basically. There's a 43% higher likelihood that somebody you're targeting has this job title than the average number of users on Facebook. It also looks like they tend to have, the people who have a new job tend to not be people from grad school or just high school education, but a lot of people that have college education have a new job, right? People that are in a relationship tend to have a new job more frequently than people who are single or people who are married. And people who have a new job tend to be younger, which doesn't surprise me even a little bit. So this is effectively how you would read this, right? So let's say that we want to change that. Let's go with the example that I used earlier, U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. We'll just type that into the interest field. I can't read most of the text, but I'm assuming that this is the right one. And it is. You can see that it populated there. Now we can see that the people who tend to like the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team tend to be younger. They're relatively balanced between men and women, but compared to the average Facebook user, there's a little bit higher likelihood that there'll be men than women in this group. People who like them also tend to have a little bit of a higher education level. A lot of them tend to be single. But what about some of the other information on here? What other pages do the people who like the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team like? Go figure, they like that page. That's the top category, that's what they like. They also like individual athletes. Spoiler alert, most if not all of these people are on the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. Same with the brands that are in here. They also tend to like the U.S. Gymnastics team. Lots of sports related things here. You can then see, like I showed earlier, the page likes compared to the average person on Facebook. So the number of people who like Aly Raisman in this audience, there's 113,000 people who like her. There's 470 users that like her on Facebook. So you have a 595 times affinity for the people who like Aly Raisman that also like the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. That's a pretty strong list that you've got there. If you want to see more of these, you can do that and just have a better understanding of the different brands that people engage with or the different pages that people engage with. You can also check out activities. What are the ways that they engage on Facebook? These users tend to click more ads than the average person on Facebook. This audience might click 28 ads, but the average person on Facebook only clicks 16. They also like 2 whole more pages than the average person on Facebook. This is a very engaged audience. And if you come down here, they actually tend to engage with Facebook on desktop and mobile devices at a much higher level than just people on desktop or just on mobile. They tend to have iPhone, iPad, they tend to like their Apple devices. But this just lets you see how the different targeting options that you've set, how does that impact all of the other pieces that are within this platform. The cool part is you can actually save these audiences and find them later in your audiences manager to leverage them in your campaigns really quickly. So come in here, tinker around, see what different characteristics you like, and if you like them a lot, save the audience. If you like them so much that you want to use them immediately, you can actually create an ad. Facebook will automatically create a campaign ad set and then let you create an ad to target these users directly on Facebook. Thanks for watching our video.
Make sure to subscribe to the Paid Media Pros channel to see more videos.